going on, everybody? We are back at Midsummer Scream for day 2, and today's that big day. We have the Hall of Shadows open, which is all the mini haunts, like the haunted houses. We're gonna be doing that. We have some panels, especially the Halloween Horror Nights panel, like I said. Very excited for that. That's at 5 o'clock tonight. But today's the big one, so I'm excited. Let's just jump right in. Before we head in, I wanted to show you guys, Trick or Treat Studios set up 2 photo ops. So one, you can be a Good Guys doll from Chucky, and then the other, you can be in a TV set from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. The iconic masks, the skeleton, the pumpkin, the witch. So yeah, it's free. If you guys are heading on to Midsummer Scream, make sure to get a photo. How's it feel to be back at Midsummer Scream?
Feels good. Ready for the HHN presentation already.
Yeah, me too. So, is it cool? I know that you haven't seen the vendors yet, but can we head to the Hall of Shadows and try to knock that out before the big crowd comes? We got gold bats, so we're gonna try to skip those lines as soon as we can.
Yeah.
I'm already loving it. It smells like fog. It's like Halloween Horror Nights. All right. Ooh, look at this. Freddy Krueger. Wow. Oh, this is so cool.
It looks really awesome.
Like, I don't even know where to begin.
That's a real thing!
We have a mixture of Trick or Treat and Silver Shamrock novelties. There's Sam in the window. Shall we go through our first haunt?
Yeah.
All right, let's try, okay. Straight to Hail Productions. He would.
We have an opening right now.
Why are you leaving so soon? Come back! Please don't leave us! Please don't! Please don't!
Hey, that was really good.
Yeah.
Mouth shut, your eyes open.
Frank, what are you on with this?
You have the wrong feeling.
You're not doing very much to prove me wrong.
What more do you need?
this being here, but that is awesome. It's basically, it walks you through the story of the first Halloween. With projections and stuff. That's very clever. We're doing Corona Haunt next. We love Corona Haunt, by the way.
Yes.
They always do wonderful things.
They do great.
And this theme is Tales of Halloween.
You guys are ready.
It.
Awesome, thank you so much.
That one captured so well on camera.
Yeah.
I love it for that. Thank you, Corona
I
Haunt.
couldn't even tell, like, as we were going through, I was like, oh, this is gonna look great.
Yeah, and also the that cauldron with the witch.
Yeah.
That was a very clever scare. Loved it. Oh. Hello.
They're here?
Yeah, let's do Fear Farm. Oh my lord, look at this. This facade is crazy.
They went all out for this one.
Yeah, they did. Still walkers and everything.
Come on in. Watch your step, please.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Look out below! Where are you? Ah, son of a bitch.
With the camera. All right. Whew. Wow. That one. So we're gonna spin to see if we can get a free ticket to Fear Farm.
Wait a minute. Oh, where?
Hey, I'll take it.
Go to the register and see the lady. She'll take your name, put it in the computer.
All right, thanks. So hey, I guess we're winners. I mean, it
I'll take it.
works for me. Next up, the Quail Run Carnival. I think it's Carnival Games. No, I'm not sure. I felt the pressure. I couldn't do it, Arl. He's gonna have to carry.
All right.
Yeah. Got 2 awards. Yay. Yeah, I could do ring toss.
Mike, you got this.
Santa Ana haunt is the next one. Arl, I don't think I've ever heard of this haunt.
I don't know where this is.
Oh, well, it's in Santa Ana.
Well, like,
He didn't like that. I'm sorry.
You guys can be friends. Right? Where you guys going? Stay! I said stay!
You two look great in this picture break. Quick slice to the neck and you'll be over quick. Come on. Or this one. This one would look great with you.
He giveth it back, and I am his judge, not here to collect.
I'm just happy that one captured well on camera.
yeah.
That one was well lit.
I really like the clown room.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
We like brightly lit rooms. It started getting very crowded in the Hall of Shadows, so we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come out here. Arl wanted to take a picture at the Halloween Horror Nights booth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Out of focus. Well, you get the gist. You sold it.
I was terrified.
He's taking a vacation. On vacation, buddy? You earned it. I tried checking out Spooky Sweets yesterday, but the line was so packed. So I'm gonna take advantage now, because I don't think anyone wants to get sweets this early. What is this? Churro cheesecake bars. Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Doing well. Is that Rice Krispies? I know, Big Mikey.
Oh, good. I'm not gonna buy this, but I like
The Ouija board like cake.
The red velvet or the lettuce and the pumpkin spice.
Oh. And is that strawberry shortcake?
It's not strawberries and cream and cookies and cream.
Oh. I think I want to get a Mikey Myers cookie.
Get some stuff.
Yeah. Arl's like, I'm ready for sweets.
I have some cash on my Venmo, I'm pretty sure.
Arl is ravenous. He needs to eat this cookie now. Mikey! No one ever tells you how hungry you get when you're doing all this walking and being scared. Did you actually get scared at any of the... No? I did.
What was the first one,
The
right?
first one, yeah. I think I just had to get that out of my system, and then after that I was pretty set.
Had to get up.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see how this cookie tastes. Would you like to do the honors?
Oh, no, you go ahead. Bite that head.
Pretty good. I thought it was gonna be chocolate though.
That's what you mean, but I like it.
Yeah.
The flavor's good. There seems to have been an issue with the Pizza Planet delivery. Sir, this is very unprofessional.
Oh, good idea.
Hello. I wanted to check out Fearface FX because this has some like ultra realistic gore. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing well. Ooh. So it's very disturbing stuff. That reminds me of fear.com. Some Silent Hill, Hellraiser. And kind of like The Thing, like all the shreds.
Can they give me some of this? We can
Yeah, they're in the store. Yeah, let's get another. Let's get a price.
Ooh, look at this one. Gruesome. Here's a hotel sign from the Cecil Hotel. And for those of you who don't know, the Cecil Hotel is a hotel in Los Angeles that has a dark history, as shown here. I think the most famous one for sure is the Elisa Lam death in the water tank. And who doesn't love a bunch of dolls surrounding the area? Just wonderful. If any one of you blink or turn your head, you're done.
I hate this one.
That one is awful. No, you know which one is not allowed? This one because of the hair. We're waiting in line to see if we can get a free ticket. You know, me and Arlo are suckers for free stuff.
Oh yeah.
Always test our luck. Well, we need to land on that pumpkin.
Water bottle.
Oh!
Water bottle, $10 off the all-new Shack cover.
Thank you. Oh, can I go?
Yeah.
We got 2 water bottles.
It's free, so it's great.
We got caught at the Blu-ray section.
Always. You always gotta check, you
We
know?
always have to check, you never know. What is that? I don't even know. The Erotic Rites of Frankenstein. Wow. I think we're gonna go ahead and just put that one back. But look, they have Trilogy of Terror. Is this Blu-ray? No. Karen Black, that's a good one.
They have a bunch of soundtracks, man.
Ooh, they do have soundtracks, and they have spiders. We'll just kind of shift our way this way when we can. Anything else worthwhile?
I don't think so.
Do you guys want to see Killer Crocodile 2? Oh. That should go up front.
I don't know what that is.
A lot of these movies I've never even heard of.
Like this one? Silent Scream? I've now seen that twice in this booth alone. I've never heard of it.
Wow. We are back in the Hall of Shadows. We're going to watch Decayed Brigade do their slider show.
Coffee bowl.
What is happening here? We have Elvira, It. Oh. Leatherface? Ooh, the chainsaw moves. Scream. Elvira. It's the whole smorgasbord over there. Oh, and Mikey. Mikey. That's our puppies every time. Hello. Bunch of Krampuses coming through. Just want to show you guys how many people are here in the main lobby. This isn't even the show floor even, so this is just like people entering. But we still got general admission coming through, or re-entries. But this was an excellent turnout for Midsummer Scream. And it's about 3 o'clock now. We are now waiting in line to get into the ballroom to watch the Halloween Horror Nights panel. So 2-hour wait, but I think it'll be worth it. We want really good seats for this. I fell asleep, and about an hour later I woke up and this whole area was full of Gold Bat people.
At least we're kind of close to the front.
Yeah, we are. This is like, it's zigzagging, but we're just this stretch right here going in. Yay.
I was falling asleep.
I fell asleep.
You were right there asleep, and I was like, people around me were probably looking at me, but I was like...
I wonder if I was snoring.
You weren't.
Okay.
I didn't hear you snore.
Woo! Mass pandemonium. Look at that. We're in.
We have a special guest ready to share more secrets about this year's event. All the way from his home in Ireland to sunny Long Beach, please welcome the creative director and executive producer of Halloween Horror Nights, John Murdy.
Hello. Hello, you lovely people. How you guys doing today? I'm John Murdy, creative director, executive producer of Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood, and the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank all you guys. Oh, now I can see you. Cool. There's a lot of you. I feel like I owe you something, right? Feel like I owe you something. You know this is my phrase. I didn't write this is Shakespeare, in case you were wondering. It's from Macbeth. By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. How about an announcement? Right out of the gate. Let's go. All right. How about an announcement for an original? I almost said maze, but I caught myself. House. Coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2022, Universal Studios Hollywood. What excites me about this particular house is that we get to do history, okay? So the first part of this presentation is going to be a history lesson. Is that okay with you? I didn't expect that enthusiastic a response, but no, I'm a big history nerd, and what really excited me about Scarecrow was the setting of where it takes place, which is the Dust Bowl of the 1930s. Anybody familiar with the Dust Bowl? Give it up for the Dust Bowl! For those of you not familiar with the Dust Bowl, indulge me for a second, because I'm going to give you a little history lesson. So you have these things called black rollers or black blizzards, and to me there's nothing scarier than history. Why is that? Okay, just imagine yourself. Imagine that's your house, okay? You're a farmer, you're waking up on a Saturday or Sunday, and you come outside and you're like, oh, what a beautiful, oh my God! Look at how big that is. Imagine this 200, 300-foot dust cloud is coming at your house. And then when it left this. Honey, I'm gonna get the car and I'm gonna go, oh. Everything was covered in dust. And if that wasn't bad enough, after the dust storm swept all the topsoil off this country, then came, not kidding, the plague of locusts. Millions and millions and millions of locusts descended on the land. So what did people do? They left. It was the biggest mass migration in US history up to that point. I think it was 3.5 million people just got up, abandoned their houses, and left. These are all famous photographs taken by Dorothea Lange. They're in the Library of Congress. And this is great research for us. So when we're starting working on something like this, we start plowing through all of those pictures, we start studying everything, and it suddenly dawned on me that what we were really doing was an ecological horror story, right? Because horror as a genre, since the beginning of time, it always deals with the existential threats of our time. Do you remember, like, back in the 1950s when there was all those giant atomic mutated, insect movies? Universal made some of them, like Tarantula or The Deadly Mantis, or the Warner Brothers film Them. What that was really dealing with was the atom bomb and the fear of the atom bomb. So this is an ecological horror story about a climatic disaster. So we really like the idea that, these farmers have come in, they've overworked the land is all blown away, the topsoil is blown away, and everybody's leaving and abandoning their farmhouses, and who's left? The scarecrows and the crows. And now they're going to come back and reclaim the land from the people. And these are the people. This is another picture by Dorothea Lange. So the farm families that stayed behind, that didn't leave yet, they're the ones that are in peril because the scarecrows are coming for them. We have a whole bunch of different kinds of scarecrows. I'm just going to click them through them real quick. These are our baseline scarecrows. And then these are what we call dusty crows. So they're like covered in the topsoil that's blowing all everywhere. They're all chalky looking. And these are the skelecrows. And the sepia crows. So these are the ones that were human not so long ago, but the blood from their wounds is still seeping through their scarecrow wrappings. Beast crow and barn crow. And these are the humans that are being turned into scarecrows. These are our cocoon crows. And then, when we got to the ending, we thought, well, who's behind this? Like, what's causing all this? There has to be somebody leading these scarecrows. So we decided to invent a character that didn't exist in the previous version in Orlando. Somebody that would be behind all of this. We call him King Crow. Do you want to hear a Hollywood ghost story? Do you want to hear an old Hollywood ghost story? Okay. Back in the 1920s, at the early days of the birth of cinema, not too many years after Carl Laemmle moved his company west and opened Universal Studios in 1915, the local newspapers in Hollywood have this headline: Lillian Von Drake, the heiress to the Von Drake oil family fortune, has announced that she's getting married to a man named Maxie DeVille. Now, Maxie DeVille is what you would have called back in the 1920s a drugstore cowboy. What that means is it's a guy who dresses up like all fancy clothes and hangs out in front of drugstores in order to pick up women. In this case, he met Lillian, he swept her off her feet, she falls head over heels in love with him, and they get married, much to the chagrin of her mother, Mildred Von Horn, who is the widow who has the entire oil fortune. Because no sooner do they get married, Maxie starts to work on a luxury hotel. It's up in the Hollywood Hills. It's just directly below the famous Hollywood Land real estate development sign. But he spends all of this money, millions of dollars, building this beautiful luxury hotel and starts hobnobbing with the, rich and famous of Hollywood. And then, only a few months after that, tragedy strikes. A pair of sisters, Dottie and Dolly Klampendorf, are found dead on the premises. Dottie, the maid, is found swinging by her neck in the elevator. Dolly, the cook, is found with her head in the oven, an apparent double suicide. But then more stuff happens. Strange accidents that can't be explained, suicides, until the Hollywood press starts labeling Maxie's Hotel a hotel of horrors. And then, tragedy strikes again. Mildred Van Horn, the mother-in-law, is found dead in her bathtub, electrocuted when a radio accidentally falls into it. And then tragedy strikes again. Lillian DeVille, formerly Van Horn, dies in a freak fire in her bedroom. Now, during the fire, Maxie rushes to her side in an act of bravery, tries to put out the flames. He's badly burned, but he survives. And then the police start getting suspicious. They begin to suspect that Maxie DeVille is behind all of these murders. There is a long trial, and after several months, the jury returns a verdict of guilty, and Maxie gets sentenced to death. Now there's appeals, and that goes on for years and years and years, but finally, in San Quentin, as they're closing the gas chamber door and the gas fumes are coming up to his face, he laughs and cries out, "I'll be back." And that's all I'm gonna say. Stay tuned, boys and ghouls. You know what? What would be better than that? How about a surprise special guest? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our good friend at Halloween Horror Nights, Slash. Have a seat. Hey. I think they like you.
You're pretty good at it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was thinking about this. Slash texted me and he was offered to come down and hang out with us today, which I thought was super, super cool and very nice of him. And I was thinking about it and I was like, you're very quickly becoming probably the person we've probably collaborated with the most in the history of Halloween Horror Nights.
You think?
Yeah, it's we've done a lot of these now. So I thought it would be cool just to start at the beginning, if you wouldn't mind. In 2014, do you remember, even back up from there, do you remember the first time you came to Horror Nights?
I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the Black Sabbath maze was the
Yeah.
I think that's the first time you and I met. And I was so blown away by this maze, and had the best time. And I was very vocal about it. You know, probably more animated than you'd usually see me. Anyway, and so I was hooked on Halloween Horror Nights from that moment on.
And I remember that night when we came out of that maze, you said, I'd like to do this. How can we do something together? And so I was like, okay, let me think about that. And then a year later, I sent you the treatment for Clowns 3D.
Which was super exciting, because I offered to get involved, but I mean, in what capacity, I didn't know. And he called me up and he goes, yeah, I've got this original maze that we're doing, and would you be interested in doing the music? It's this psycho clown thing. And I wrote something in my mind that second.
You wrote it like right away, didn't you?
Yeah. Literally, when you told me that, I had a melody in my head, and that's basically what this is based on.
The Universal Monsters legacy at HHN is not over. As you all know, we announced earlier this year a new house called Universal Monsters Legends Collide. So what we did is we partnered with our sister park, Universal Orlando Resort. Our creative teams joined forces to create this overall concept, and we actually did it as kind of a two-parter. So in Orlando, that's like part one of the story. That's going to Egypt for the expedition. And then part two is in Hollywood, which is where it picks up when it comes back to London. So speaking of London, this particular house for Hollywood is set in the Limehouse district. Now you grew up in England, right? Do you know what I'm talking about, the Limehouse? Never been there? It's along the River Thames, but why it's important is when the British Empire was, in its full glory, that was like the equivalent of like Amazon, right? All shipping for the world came in and out of the Thames. Why does this relate to the Universal Monsters? It's because it's already in the story. If you know Dracula from 1931, what does he do? He gets on the Vesta and he travels to England, and then the majority of the film takes place in England. In The Mummy in 1932, the expedition where they're trying to find the mummy is funded by the British Museum. And lastly, in the Wolfman story, of course, that begins at Talbot Castle, which is in the UK. It's in Wales. So we brought all of these characters to London. Now, why are they there? Just for a goof. We just thought it would be funny. Let's just have them all show up at the same place at the same time. No, there always has to be a conflict. So for us, it's this idea of curses. So each of these characters are cursed in a different way. What's Dracula's curse? Well, he can never go out when the sun's up, right? So Dracula is seeking an end to the curse that is on his life. And he's represented in the house by a blood red moon. Then you go to the mummy. He's an eternal slave. He's cursed for all eternity to be a slave. So he has the harvest moon, the kind of gold moon you see in the middle. And then the Wolfman, his curse is obvious. Every time the moon is full, he turns into a beast and ends up having to kill people that he doesn't want to kill. So all of these characters are searching for an end to this curse. Here's 13 monster Easter eggs you can look for when you're going through Universal Monsters Legends Collide. Starts at the facade. I mentioned that it's a shipping warehouse in the Limehouse district of London. This is my original research image, and then I gave it to Chris, and he came up with this. If you're going down the Starway, and you look to your right, you'll see it. It's in the park right now. The next one, the London Docks, another research image I pulled for Chris. And then this is his ground plan, looking down on it. So we have all of these crates and boxes, and I wanted all of them, kind of did a little foreshadowing that this is going to involve the Egyptian god Amun-Ra. I wanted his hieroglyphs stamped on them. So you're going to see that if you look really carefully. You might have to look really, really carefully, because the last picture I saw, they weren't on it. The dead dock workers from Dracula. I love that scene when they come on the ship and there's just everybody on board the ship is dead. We wanted to work that into the experience, so when you enter the shipping warehouse, you'll notice that everybody working inside is dead. Except for one guy. This guy. Renfield's behind the shipping and receiving counter desk, you know, going, doing his freaky laugh. Of course, shipping warehouses always have these huge holding rooms. Of course, that gives us an opportunity to have a bigger scene. This is a really big scene in the house. Now, over the years, you guys have seen lots of this type of stuff in our houses before, right? You know what I'm talking about? Anubis, that medallion from, these are from real movies. This is from The Mummy Returns and Scorpion King. Believe it or not, the whole inspiration for this house and wanting to do it, I was in our warehouse about this time last year, and I walked into our off-site facility and I was like, damn, we've got a lot of Egyptian statues. Because back when they made The Mummy in '99 and The Mummy Returns, they just gave us that stuff. So we have all these huge, huge Egyptian statues. We've never used them for horror nights. So I wrote a whole house just so I could use them. Then there's this. Also, when you're going through this scene, you'll see a chest and it's glowing and you'll hear this dun 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 dun. And it's a reoccurring element. You'll see it a couple of different places in the house. And I just like Pulp Fiction, really. This is a stock Universal character. You see him in all the sequels to The Mummies, but we wanted to bring him to life, a new character for Halloween Horror Nights. So here is our High Priest of Karnak. He gets his very own medallion that he gets to wear. And then all the sequels to The Mummy, they always go to a graveyard, right? And there's a good reason for that. It's because they didn't want to go to Egypt to film these movies. Like, did you ever notice this about the Mummy movies? Like the first one, there's all this amazing Egyptian, you know, sets, and then all the other ones, they're like in America.
Yeah.
They're just like,
It's just, yeah,
the Mummy, he's here in America.
Too expensive.
It's because the sequels didn't have the same budget as the original, and as they went along, they had to come up with different storylines. But that meant we could take you to a graveyard, and there's some Easter eggs in the graveyard. Look at the names above the crypts, and you'll see some of them, including this one, which has got the name Browning, which of course is an homage to Todd Browning, the guy who directed the original Dracula. And then the graveyard also gave me this idea. Have you ever been to Highgate in London?
Have I ever been
the cemetery, Highgate? Have you ever been there?
Highgate, no.
We got to go sometime, because it's really cool, because It was built in the Victorian times when there was a huge obsession with Egyptology. So they have an Egyptian wing of this entire cemetery. So that gave us an idea, oh, we can go into the cemetery and then it can take on an Egyptian feel. And then there could be a secret passageway that takes you to the museum. A couple more Easter eggs in, including posters for the Egyptian exhibit they're planning for the museum. And if you look real carefully underneath where it says a public celebration, it says there will be a short address by S. Hudson on Egyptian music.
Shit.
How much do you know about Egyptian music?
How much? A little bit.
And then that also means that we get to bring back the Vampire Bride. So they're going to be making a cameo in this house as well. And then when you get to the final scenes in the maze, when you're in the display rooms where there's mummies everywhere, the High Priest of Karnak has the mummy's heart, and he's doing that spell they always do in the mummy movies, Akum Real, Akum Day, trying to bring all these mummies that are in the museum to life. And that's a special effect as well. The heart is designed, it's got LEDs, it's wireless so that it can take an audio signal, and it starts doing the dum 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 dum. So this is what was inside the chest. And last but not least, Anubis factors into this house, okay, in a very direct way. One of the inspirations for this whole original story that myself and my counterparts at Universal Orlando Resort came up with was because recent research has discovered something about Anubis. They always thought he was a jackal-headed god, that he had a jackal's head, which would be a dog, right? But now they've come to realize, I don't know if you know, this is pretty cool, but they've realized that they were wrong all these years, and it's actually a wolf. So Anubis is a wolf man. So, we're going to bring a new monster into the pantheon at the end of this house. We're going to have the Anubis werewolf.
Woo! That was a lot of information to take in. I'm very excited. We have a new house announcement, and that is Scarecrow the Reaping.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
That one looks really good.
Now, we've been to that one in Orlando. That was, I think, 2018. That was the second time we went to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. And we remember saying, like, that maze was scary. I remember it being very dark, and I do remember the crows. Ooh. Little Bob. But yes, that was a great one. So I'm excited that we're getting that, and that also confirms what that house is at the Curtis George parking lot. That's Scarecrow.
There's so much speculation about that.
So much speculation. Also, I mean, we already knew this. He did confirm that the Alucard, or the trading company behind the Mummy Queue, that is Legends Collide. We knew that. But we got something else that's really exciting. Slash is doing the music yet again for another house, and it's going to be for Legends Collide. And that was really cool that they had Slash come out and kind of talk to us.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I'm so happy that we're here. I'm happy that Halloween season is upon us. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. I had fun.
Yeah. Your favorite Hall of Shadows house? Corona Hot.
I'm gonna say it's either between Corona Hot or that first one.
That was good. But yeah, it was a fantastic time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you guys haven't. A like is always appreciated, and we'll see you guys in the fog.